Welcome, everybody, here to the first ever SCAV Report Podcast, the SRP. Is that what we're going with? We're going with the SRP.
I like it. I think
I think that's what we got here. We're going with the SRP. We're going to have to come up with something a little bit better than what we have today. But I am Ender, and this is my wonderful co-host. For the first time ever, co-host. How does it sound? How does it sound to be the co-host?
It sounds like a lot less responsibility.
Co-host, the 3J Gamer, James. I'm Ender, and we're going to be bringing you this new podcast, the SCAV Report Podcast, all about Escape from Tarkov. We have done, what now? 4 different podcasts, and I think this is going to be the one that we're going to stick with, because...
we're still rolling with the others.
We have other ones that we're rolling, but I think we have found the game that is intriguing enough to both of us. You and I,
correct, yeah.
That we would want to continue to go with. And even if the other games venture out there, like let's say COD comes back strong, or Halo's new patch becomes, really, well, I don't even want to get into that, but let's say Halo's patch is comes out and is really good, because a lot of stuff sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's going on with that.
Marauders.
Marauders. I don't find myself like really venturing away from this because of how in depth the game really is.
Yeah.
That being said,
it is funny that you find that you like this game.
That's what we're going to get into here, and we're going to kind of start this first podcast off with an introduction of how we got here, who we are, and why the hell anybody wants to listen to us. Like that, like let's give them a reason why. I'm not sure what that is yet, but that's what I'm leaning on my co-host here to,
because they've got all the pros, the Pestleys and the Jessica Zams and all these guys. Noise, the smiley face guy that does all,
a Noise
these guys are
guy.
Pros. The Noise. These guys know everything. We know nothing. So
that's true.
It kind of brings the newcomers to come in, and they get to kind of experience the game with us as they're experiencing the game. I listen to these guys' podcasts, and they're great. Honestly, I do learn a lot, but sometimes they're 40 minutes of talking about stuff I haven't even come near that part of the game, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, and I think there's I think a lot of what I listen to is like the podcast with Jesse, Kazam, and Veritas. And don't get me wrong, I love listening to it, but I agree with you. Like a lot of times I'm just like, dude, I just want to like get out of raids alive and like have fun and like try to find the stupid item that I can't find. Like where I'm not trying to come out with like 16 lead X's every raid and killed 19 PMCs. Like I'm okay with like 3 scav kills and surviving. Like that's a good day. Like I'm happy there.
And hopefully we'll be where they are in a couple of years. I mean, these guys have been playing the game since it launched, right? A lot of these guys. So
yeah, I mean, and just to bring everyone around, this is our first wipe, but we didn't really start till mid wipe.
Correct.
Like let's really think about it. We've only been like I think my account has only been active like less than 3 or 4 months now. Altogether.
I'd say 3
Not
months.
Even. Yeah, 3 months maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot of hours put in. Like I think I'm over 300 hours already.
We started after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That I know for sure.
Yeah, and there's been some breaks in there. Like there's been a couple of big breaks in there throughout it. So I know this is a story you like to tell. So I'm gonna leave this here of how we got to Escape from Tarkov. Because I will be the first to say, I am Ender, is a COD fanboy. Like straight up COD fanboy. And I was a little against playing anything else.
A little.
For a while. Just a little bit, man.
I mean, so for me, truth be told, I actually bought this game last summer. I'm 41. James, I've been an Xbox player since day one. Of course, I've had Nintendo, PlayStation and stuff, but basically an Xbox player. That's all I played. So I decided, just like a lot of people, COVID came around. I just had a kid. I went with, for those that may have been listening to us for a long time, I was the gaming dad for a long time. I've recently changed the name to the 3J Gamer to be more kind of gamer centric. And I just started streaming. So as I started streaming, I got into the PC gaming, and I was like, oh, I've always wanted to play this Tarkov game. So I get Tarkov. I played it for about 10 minutes. I didn't survive more than 30 seconds at a time. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried to get friends to play with me. No one to play, so I just kind of disregarded it. Gone. Honestly, I played probably less than 30 minutes of playtime, so I really didn't know what was going on. I just kind of left it off. Really got back into Warzone. That was all I was streaming 2 or 3 times, 3-4 times a week. And then started my podcast networks with Last Choice Network, From Parents First Gaming, kind of all that. And that's how I met you, Ender. And you joined us on a lot of those podcasts, and we started gaming together. You were pretty hesitant. We played a little bit of COD together. It was more just chatting in the podcast, but we did start gaming a little bit. And then Caldera came out. And anyone that knows what Call of Duty is or is still trying to play Warzone understands, right?
Well, I think it's even like you gotta backtrack a little bit. I think Vanguard came out.
Yeah, true.
Like you gotta start.
I was mainly just a Warzone player.
That's true, but that was. But when Vanguard came out was when you started to see the integration into Warzone getting ready. Like you started seeing things break there. Like you started seeing them try to integrate these two games together.
So a lot of my friends stopped playing, and I was kind of left by myself. And I was like, man, I don't know. Like, what am I going to stream? I still wanted to stream. I didn't want to play Warzone by myself, and it wasn't fun. So I tried a couple different things, and then we really, really got into PUBG. It was something we used to play. We played it on Xbox still. I was streaming through my PC, but obviously that didn't have crossplay with PC, so I had to go back to the Xbox and play and use the whole Elgato card and all that. It's just kind of a hassle. So got really into PUBG, and I convinced Ender. I was like, Ender, come on. It's a little rough around the edges, but you'll love it.
A little rough.
And we love it. I still love it. Ender did not.
I didn't make it. It's not I did not. I didn't make it through the opening trial run period to teach you the game.
Yeah, he's
I'm out. It took me 45 minutes to figure out how to aim down sight. Because the controls are different than every other shooter out there.
Yeah, correct. And I did learn that's where the more and more you and I started talking, you did admit, you were like, I tried the first person. I was like, what are you doing? Don't play the first person version. You play the third person. And you were like, I do not like third person games. I don't like it. You were like, I respect the Ghost Recons. I respect the Division. They're not for me because I can't do the third person shooting.
No.
And I said, okay. So then you were kind of over me suggesting things.
I don't have the spatial awareness for third.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine if it's like an adventure game, like if we're playing God of War or something like that, where it's at. But when you involve like the shooting, like I'm out. Like first person shooters.
So I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give this. I'm by myself. Let me just start playing Tarkov. I'm gonna play something by myself. Let me lean into it. I think I came across a beginner guide by Jessica Zam. I watch a lot of Pestily, but he's kind of like Pestily to me in this game is like watching Shroud in any other game, right? It's like, great, that's cool that guy can do 360 spins and headshot. Like he's as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the best players in the game. But I'm not learning anything, right? I'm not going to play like that. So how am I going to be running and jumping off cars and scaling?
Well, yeah, I think like when you like have Pestily up there, you have what is it, Rengard that's up there.
Yeah.
I actually watch a lot of Gingy's stream. A lot of her stuff, mainly because like when we were getting into it, we go back how you got me into it, but like Gingy's one that I watch a lot, mainly because like she does a really good job at like explaining what she's doing.
Yeah.
Whereas like everybody else is just going like crazy and just I can't do that. Like
Dr. Lupo's the same. He just plays it, but that's just how he is, right? But I enjoyed watching him. But so I reached out to you again. I said, okay, Ender, you've told me all about you. You have guns in real life. You're all about this. It's first person. I promise. It is a little bit janky. It's like kind of PUBG in that way. It's
more refined than PUBG.
I go, there's no like, there's a map, but you got to pull it up on a separate screen, and you were like, oh, this all sounds super appealing to me, and I was like, you can't tell who's on your team. You could shoot somebody on your team, like it's hard, and you're like, none of this sounds good. But reluctantly, you decided to get it. You downloaded it. We played one night, and literally for just 3 hours, it was nothing but like bitching. Like all
I
you
think
did
we
was
streamed
complain.
it. Like
This
I
game
think I
is
have of the video of that.
this
night.
game is stupid. I don't even know why. I will never take another advice from you, a game recommendation from you. I felt so bad. You had me feel so guilty. I was like, I will literally send you the money. You're like, oh, it's not about the money, blah 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 blah. You're like, and when I said goodnight, you literally said, I'm uninstalling this. I will never play this game again. Now you're on the East Coast time. I stayed up pretty late. You know, I have co-parenting with my son, so he's not staying with me. So you have the kids at home. You've got to get up super early in the morning, so you're usually up before me. Plus, you're on Eastern time zone. I'm Central. So about 10:30, I'm up. I'm around. I flip on my computer, start doing some work, and I open up Discord. And sure enough, I look over at Ender, and it says playing Escape from Tarkov. I immediately voice called you, and I was like, thought you were uninstalling this, and you were like, well, here's the deal. It really pissed me off that I wasn't very good at the game.
Oh my, that is 100% true. So the only reason, and what you don't know is I stayed up till like 4 a.m. that night after we got out, because I'm like, I'm getting out of a raid alive. Like I'm going to
the
get
whole
out.
night we never really escaped from anything.
No. Like my first time walking in, I took 2 steps and died. 2 steps.
Like our buddy Wright did the same thing.
And I was done. And I'm like, what? Like, what?
You're like, why am I playing this?
What the fuck is the point of this game? Like, I don't understand anything about this game. And that's what made me so angry, is like, I'm not a great gamer, but there's not a lot of first-person shooters that I can't pick up and be middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Like I'm older now. I am not going to be able to, you know, I'm 36 years old. I'm not going to be playing with the 22-year-old, the 18-year-old anymore. Like I don't have the eyesight anymore. I don't have the reactions anymore to do that. But you put me on a team, I can hold my own with them. Like I'm not gonna, you know, I kind of look at like I'm like the Hex of Optic. Like you're gonna put me out there, I'm gonna be able to handle myself, but you know, I'm not gonna be playing pro. But the fact that like I couldn't kill AI in the game
drove you nuts.
Drove me insane. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I cannot drop and now this is where the SCAV Report podcast, the name the SCAV Report came from, is mainly because like I fucking couldn't kill scavs. Couldn't. They were dropping us left and right every time we walked in. I mean, like, it was insane. And then what really pissed me off was the no map thing. No compass. Like, you had to do a quest to get a fucking compass. Like, it was infuriating. But the journey made you actually enjoy it. And that was the part of, like, it was like the first, and I haven't said this before, but it was like the first time you played Mario. And then all of a sudden you like beat the first two. Like the first 2 levels were hard as crap. Then you beat the next one. And then like you didn't have a save. If you die, like I only had 2 hours to play.
3 lives, right?
Yeah. Mom was giving me 2 hours to play, and when I turned the console off, this thing's over with. Yeah. So you would go through it, and then like all of a sudden you start cruising and you start feeling good about it. The nice thing about Mario is it doesn't slap you in the fucking face when you start feeling like you're getting good at it, and then you realize, holy shit, I haven't even dipped my toe into this universe. Yeah. And then so all of that happened, and like I got like you messaged me that night. I remember that afternoon, like I think it was like a Saturday. I think it was something like that. And I was playing, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to play. Like, I didn't want to admit to you that I'm fucking hooked. Yeah. So you
took
don't
you a solid a week.
No, dude, you don't know this. I turned off my Discord, like I set myself to away offline.
No, you did not.
And was playing even though you were on. I'm like,
just so I was like,
I can't. I'm not ready to admit to him he was right. Like it was such a petty thing. I'm like, I can't let him know he was right yet. So let me play a couple more days, and then I'll come back and be like, no, this is the game. We're gonna go ahead and go through with it. So yeah, there was like 3 or 4 days there where I was offline, and I was just like, oh no, I'm kind of busy. Where I was playing.
I mean, I'm usually pretty good at reading people and figuring out what they like, and I don't mind swinging and missing on the beginning. But when I went from PUBG to this, I was like, okay, if he doesn't like that, he likes Warzone. I was like, he's always talking about the guns that he has on our podcast. I was like, he has to like this. So when you didn't like it, I was like, wow. Man, maybe I really don't have a clue about people anymore.
You didn't really understand. Like, I didn't understand it, and that's the problem. Is without someone, and you're not the guy that's the greatest at teaching people how to play games. Like, no offense there, but you're not gonna I still have to teach you things in the game now, and you technically had a little bit more time. Now, I'll give you the whole like gun attachment and things like that. Like that is incredibly realistic.
Yeah, I don't have a clue when it comes to that stuff.
And we're gonna have another podcast podcast on the realism of Tarkov and like the realism of video games in general and like where that balance is. But that starts to suck you in. Like that's a whole nother game in its own right. And then being someone, I think what it really did is it tapped into two sides for me. Is I was originally a World of Warcraft player. Like my original game, the game that like, and I'm talking like 1,000, like you talk about these guys say they have, 5,000, 6,000 hours into Escape from Tarkov. I had double that into World of Warcraft. Like you're talking like,
first year.
That was just the first year. I didn't go to school or anything. I wish that wasn't as true as it possibly could be.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like burning. I'm not a vanilla WoW player, kind of the middle of the beginning of WoW through Burning Crusade, Escape, and then everything from then on. Like I've played. Gotcha. Even the latest expansion in between time, I've cleared. Like I still play, and that's like my off stream, I just need a chill game that I'll go back to, and I have some friends there that I've known for 10 years now. And that like I have 10 years invested in that game in that single account. Like I can't give it up. And I'll never give that up. But the questing aspect, the PvE aspect of Escape from Tarkov is very WoW-esque. Like you got to go out here and collect these things and bring them back. You got like it has that through there that you have to go. You got to go get this many kills and come back. Like it's got that WoW feel to it. But then it's a first-person shooter. Yeah. So I had never really experienced being a COD player mainly, a Halo player. So coming from COD and Halo, like, and that was pretty much it. Like that's what I played. And World of Warcraft, I had never played one of these like PvPvE first-person shooters. Like I never experienced one.
Yeah.
And this was kind of the first, toe into that world. And yeah, I'm hooked on it. Like it's really all I want to log into. And it's funny because I play Halo with my other friends, once every couple weeks, and it's like this game's boring. Like I'm bored with Halo, and I never used to be that way. Right? There's not a lot to do. So that's kind of the story of how we got here. James is more willing to give things a try than I am. I hesitated very heavily, but I thank James for being that guy. Like, no, just try it. Like let's just play a couple. And then it didn't help that you shot me right in the beginning too and killed me. So we do have I did end up shooting you as well, but you did shoot me first.
Did you hold on to that?
I know. And then I dropped your ass
until you shot me, and then you.
I felt so bad on that one too.
That What's bad is when you shot me, we were actually starting to get good. When I shot you, we were afraid to shoot and look. We were afraid to go after anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I will say, both of the times we shot each other were amazing shots.
Oh, that was like the greatest shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the best shot ever.
It wasn't like we like chased someone down and mowed them down with an AK.
No.
It was an SKS.
No, yours was a spin shot through a tree, dropping it, and then mine was just like a quick turn, one shot tap to someone next to you. It was really nice. So there you go.
Yeah, super nice.
Again, my name's Ender. This is the 3J Gamer, or James. You can find us both on Twitch. So we both stream on Twitch. We normally stream together on Twitch, so you can watch whichever stream that you want to watch. I think we're gonna end up trying some of the group streaming. So like if you want to watch both at the same time, like we should look into that. I think that would look cool. We also have a couple of other friends that were getting into the game, so we should have a good roundup there. So at the bottom here, if you're listening, it would be twitch.tv/IamEnder_TV. And then James, I think this is correct. It's twitch.tv/the3J Gamer at Twitch. Now, the side away from this, we also are co-owners of the Last Choice Network. So if you're looking for other podcasts or anything else that you want to listen to, anime, horror movies, parents versus gaming, if you're a parent out there, that's one that you really want to listen to, where we go into some of the it's not me, I come in as a guest on there, but it's James and our friend Kia who's on that one, about just your kids and gaming, how to get them into it, all those different things. And you guys are over a year into it. Like there's a lot of podcasts, and you can backtrack on that.
Episode 40 next Monday.
Yeah, so episode 40 there. So if you're looking for that, any of your podcast platforms that you look for, just search the Last Choice Network and they'll pop up. You can also find this one under the Last Choice Network when you go from there, and also catch us there. This has been the SCAV Report Podcast. Also check us out on YouTube for the SCAV Report. That is where we post all of the news for Tarkov or anything that's going on. This podcast is going to be a compilation of all of those videos where we come together at the end of the week and just talk about how our raids are going and really what news is going on in Tarkov at that time. So you can catch us all there. Again, in the description down below, all the links will be there. You don't have to remember it. Anything else you got to say, James, before we get out of here?
No, I'm just excited to see where this goes going forward, and excited that we kind of found a game that works for both of us that we're going to jump into and keep up with on a weekly basis.
Yes, sir. So you're going to get this podcast on a weekly basis, we are hoping, except for, major holidays. We probably won't have one on that day, but we'll try to pre-record for you. All right, we are out. This is episode 1 in the books. Take it easy, everybody.